Right. My name is Andrew Maddox, and I'm a student at Clemson University. And we had to do a new student dialogue as freshmen for the Library 100 class. And the one that I chose was Spirituality and 9/11, just because I thought that was an interesting topic, and I thought it'd be more interesting than the other ones that were out there. And so, whenever we got in there, we all sat in a circle, and everybody was pretty quiet. And So the facilitators, I think, did a good job in getting us to talk because nobody really wanted to step up at first and talk. But we went around the room and introduced ourselves and gave our stance on spirituality and what we thought, like if we were Christian or Catholic. And we even had one atheist in there, which was very interesting that he'd choose that topic. And so we talked about the effect of 9/11 and how it affected us as, let's see, I was in the third grade, and we talked about how it affected us and how most people said since we were that young, we didn't really know what it meant and stuff like that, uh, and how it means more now that we're older, especially having the 10-year anniversary this year of it, and knowing exactly what that event was and what it means. And so then we created posters of a timeline of our lives and our spirituality throughout our lives. Um, I'm a Christian, so I did one of my Christian walk and how whenever I came to know Christ and I grew up in the church and things like that. And we had to incorporate where 9/11 fell in our timeline and how it affected our spiritual walk or lack thereof in some cases. And so mine, since I was so young, it didn't necessarily affect me that much. Um, let's see. We also filled out a chart about ourselves and about how we perceive ourselves and how we think others perceive us. Um, and it had to do with body type and, uh, of course, our spirituality and um, just things of that nature. Had to do with um, how we think that others respond to, say, how we look or what our actions are or what we believe and how we think about that in our daily life. Um, let's see, our active voices, like I said, we didn't really have any at first until the facilitators helped along with that. Uh, One of them, though, was the atheist, and I found that really interesting. And he gave um, just an interesting point of view on how he didn't have any. He said he believed in God in like middle school, and then as he got older, he stopped believing in God, and how he's more comfortable with his atheistic views than he used to be. So I thought that contributed a lot to our dialogue. Um, there are a couple active Christians and Catholics that provided insight to the dialogue, but most people were reserved, and I was pretty reserved. I spoke up a little bit whenever I needed to and gave my opinion on different things, um, such as what dialogue is, and um, when we went over a sheet expressing what exactly it was and if we achieved it. Um, and so I gave some insight about that, and then uh, I think it is a important component of Library 100 just because it gets you out there and it gets you to know other people's views, and that you shouldn't be closed-minded and have your own views, and there's a lot of different things out there that you should be open about because the world isn't all one view, and there's many cultures and many different religions that we should respect. and we should definitely respect each other and what each other thinks. Um, but I enjoyed this dialogue, and um, like I said, I think it's important, and it should continue to next year. Thanks.